Argentinian opponent who is a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan in the next round of Title Tuesday here. Did my main camera break or something? No, my main camera is, as I mentioned. Oh yeah, Gambit glass is on for the Alapin Gambit. Being taken by Proctor. Chess.com is requiring all Title Tuesday participants to use. And so I'm not playing on Chrome or anything like that. I am playing right now on the Proctor server. They keep messaging me to try to add a stream delay. But anyway, they took my camera. And so what you're seeing is just me grabbing a Windows snapshot of my camera. All right, they keep messaging me. It's really annoying. Okay, well, we were trying to do our standard attack that I was actually just referencing, but they jump in with knight d5 before we're able to do that. And now it's like, okay, I wish the queen was here, where the knight would be guarding. I think we want to arrange this. I think we do. All right, let's give that a shot. Bishop d2 to c4. I didn't want knight b4 either. Knight b4 because I need this bishop. Queen e4 is an idea. Yeah, we got the Gambit glasses on. Nothing to worry about. It's just Gambit time. Let's just play chess and forget where we're playing chess. Yeah, they're requiring everyone to do this, I think. Unless it was just me. C4, knight b4. Alright, let's take it. I will make this capture because I think the bishop was actually well positioned there. In terms of stopping knight g5. And I want this pawn here, not on c4, because I need this to be solid. And yeah, I'm looking at the g5 square again and bringing my guys this way. So they're hanging on, like they didn't just allow me to go queen h4 and get my stuff going, pressure there, attack the knight. If they play h6, then I bishop takes h6. No, so my queen here was cut off. g6 is something. They're very scared of this. Okay. But now it switches from a light square attack to a dark square attack. I think this is an overreaction, if you ask me. Let's bring in more guys. Knight c3, knight b4, knight e4, knight takes d3, cd3. Maybe I should play a3. Just so I can play knight c3 in peace. I mean, it's fine. I've got time. I mean, there were a lot of candidate moves here. But knight c3, I didn't want to deal with knight b4, so I just am not going to deal with knight b4. Alright, now I just want to jump to e4. And we're going to look at these targets. You could take it. My dark square bishop will be cooking regardless, now that we got all this. g6, I mean, I get it. I think the situation could have been tough without that. All right, they might start looking at f5. Where are you going, here or here? Can we target this? Yeah, so if I were black, I would start looking at f5. All right, let's just bring them into the game. f5, I'm going to come here. Put c4 on the table as an additional resource. Okay, let's do that. Let's drive you away. Now we've got some fun ideas, don't we? Like this, or this. Okay, let's go here. takes, queen takes, f5. Don't really have a great square. Maybe just queen e3. Yeah, like I said, the light square bishop is very stunted now. For that reason, maybe it should be the one to get traded. Maybe it should trade itself. And just here, and that does it. That just about does it. Yeah, the thing about this diagonal being open and why it's so brutal is you don't just need to cover g7. If it's totally open, you also need to cover h8, and I can make that even worse for you. Make that even worse for you. Take away your f7 square. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about that if you can't block the diagonal. If your pawn was on g7, it would be one thing, but you moved it to g6 to cover the light square bishop, and his friend, the dark square bishop, finished things off. The thing is, when your pieces are very good, and you're controlling the board and looking towards their king, it's not just about the one threat. Like, you can cover the one threat, but then I'll just go to another threat. So it's about just total activity and overwhelming with pieces. With resources. You need to get your guys into the game. You can't just cover my one idea. I'll shift to another idea. Every pawn move creates a weakness. Let's see how we exploited that here. So they accepted the Alapin Gambit. f3 takes, knight f6, bishop d3. I'll note if they play it in the other move order, knight f6, we just take it, knight f3 to cover against queen h4. And this is going to transpose directly back into the game, which is exactly what happened here. Knight takes f3 happened in the game. Knight f6, bishop to d3, bishop e7, castles, queen e1. And so here my opponent actually took a nice decision and realized queen h4 is inevitable. For example, if they just like la-di-da-di-da, just trying to develop their pieces, here, bishop g5, we love this idea, trying to eliminate that knight and get them here. And if they try to reinforce, okay, we can add even more pressure trying to take all these guys. So it provokes g6 at some point, and then okay, with g6 we really start attacking down on f6, f7, here on h7, right? Eventually the threat here becomes too much. Also h6 is almost never possible because this, we again have the other diagonal and we can sacrifice on h6. So the queen on h4 coupled with having this diagonal, really strong resource. My opponent realizes that and stops me from accessing the h4 square. So here, right, my queen wants to jump out to these squares. Okay, the knight's on f6. We have the secret route, though, to try to get to h4, which is doable because we don't have the f2 pawn. We have that open and this open, right? That's why we gambited the pawn, also for some nice development. But yeah, so they take away queen h4. Okay, so I have to slide out the way, bishop d2, c5, they strike me, take, king h1. Yeah, the engine is saying, I was thinking about this during the game, knight d7. So because if they can, like, let's say something similar in the game, if they can get rid of this bishop, I don't have any attack really, right? So knight d7 is an interesting idea and would probably make some sort of weird stuff happening here. Maybe I can try to defend that. Engine's giving some weird line like this. So in the game, takes, king h1, and they just play g6. Yeah, I mean, I understand that they're scared. Like knight c6, okay, this is already working, for example. Take, check. Here, queen h4, if knight f6, and we just take it, right? And come into h7. So, yeah, lots of really strong resources pointing in this general direction. I understand, but g6 is a bit of an overreaction. Better is f5. f5, yes, it makes this pawn weak, but it doesn't make your king weak, most importantly. So they play g6, and now let's see how we start to take advantage of that. So a3, engine was saying I could just go knight c3. Maybe this wasn't a big deal. Just like move this something, bishop e4. But okay, a3 was fine. I have a little bit of time here, although, you know, it is better to not let them develop. Okay, knight c3 in the game. Rook to e8, which wasn't the best idea because, yeah, I start using the f line. But rook e8, as I understand, is like preparing f5, defending this pawn a little bit. But with f5 now, I mean, you saw this problem during the game. It's this diagonal that becomes open. This is exactly what happened. So we jump in knight e4, hitting the bishop. Bishop comes back. Rook d1, just completing development. Yes, we had some... Okay, this was the resource we were looking for here, f5, and it looks like it drops a piece because your knight has to move and this is hanging then. But you do have this move, queen h4, and everything's working out, hitting this. And I gotta like take it just to not get mated, defend the 7th rank. Okay, but I mean, I did have that strike right away, but nothing wrong with just finishing your development. Rook to d1, they slid out the way of that with queen c7, c4 now, knight f6, bishop c3. I mean, like, it wasn't flawless, but everything here seems pretty good. Yes, they should have played e5. They're probably losing this pawn pretty quickly. If they do that, I'm attacking it several times. but it's better than this bishop staying on the board and ending up checkmating you. So here they still try to hang on to their pawn. They take, and then this is a very nice decision here. As I was saying at the time, we're realizing this light square bishop is actually not doing much, stunted by these guys. What it can do, though, is eliminate this knight. So now when they're playing f5, they're really excited about this. Yes, if I go back, they're able to play e5 here, maybe have a little bit more space, they'll be okay. But what happened is takes. Even if they do go pawn takes, I mean, I think this is still kind of a disaster. My queen slips into h6. But in the game, they just went queen takes and then queen e5, and we just checkmated them there and there. Got him on the other color. Got him on the dark squares. GG, subscribe. It's
William Grave, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. e4, e5, knight f3, bishop c5. The Bushgas Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pod unlocked.